Oh, hey YouTube, it's Sharice here. This is 100% natural light, by the way. It's finally like bright enough, but not too bright for me to record without using extra lights. And as you can see, I have no makeup on. I'm going to be doing a video where I try out new products. Basically, try out new products. There's two things specifically a while ago, and I'm also kind of eating my breakfast. I woke up at like 7 and then I went back to sleep and I woke up at 11:30. And now it's 12:33 and I'm just now like getting out of bed and stuff. But oh, have y'all had a famous bowl before from KFC? If not, you need to go try it. It is so good and so filling, and usually it's like, if I'm super duper hungry, it's only one meal for me, but if I'm not super hungry, it can make 2 meals. So I ate basically half of it yesterday, now I've eaten the other half now. So good. But the two main things I want to try out today are this Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Airbrush Foundation. Oh, that's what it's called. Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Airbrush Foundation. This is in the shade Rich Sand. I think I have done a video trying this out before, but I want to try it out again now that I'm darker. And the shade Rich Sand is for deeper skin with yellow undertones, which is me. As you can see, I have deeper skin with yellow golden undertones, especially in my face. You can see that. So we're going to try this out. I think the first time I tried it out, it didn't work out too well. And yes, I'm going to be eating throughout the video just because this stuff is so good. Like, you need to go try your famous bowl. It's just like, it's got mashed potatoes, gravy, corn, popcorn, chicken, and cheese. So good. So it comes in this special packaging where it has this like smart sifter. I'm going to call it a smart sifter, where you don't have to like pour out the powder or anything. You just tap your brush in it. And today I'm going to be using a Real Techniques sculpting brush to apply this to the face. And I was reading the directions on how to apply it online, and it says that you're supposed to buff in circular motions. And my face is just moisturized. I don't have anything else on my skin. And that's all it says to do, is to buff lightly in circular motions. And this is supposed to be a full coverage airbrush finish foundation powder. So we're about to see if that is true. Like I said, my face is just freshly cleansed and moisturized. No primers, nothing else on my skin. And I really want to like this foundation, but I don't know. I feel like it doesn't look so good on my skin. I actually picked this up at Ulta a while ago. And there's a special like kabuki brush that they have that goes with it, but it feels very much like this brush, which is why I chose to use this brush. I'm getting some sort of coverage with it. Do y'all see how it kind of looks ashy on my skin though? So I'm doing one half of my face so we can kind of compare. I'm also going to do a little bit of pressing it onto my skin, even though you're not supposed to. It's not the directions say, but to try and expedite this process. I don't feel like I have full coverage yet. I might also try another brush just to see how that works. But I don't know, I feel like this process is just taking a while, like to follow the directions to buff it in circular motions until you get the desired coverage that you want. And also let's look at the color match. I feel like it kind of dulls my skin, looks a little bit ashy. This is the side without any foundation. This is the side with foundation. You see how it kind of makes me look ashy, grayish? I don't know how I feel about that, but we're gonna make it work. Y'all know how I do. I'm going to try to build up a little bit more with this NYX multi-purpose brush that I love to use for powder. And it fits perfectly inside this container. So I'm going to see how this works for buffing more product on. And for pressing on as well. Because I feel like I'm not getting full coverage. And like I said, I feel like this is making me look very ashy and kind of gray. So I may have to go over this powder with another powder that is more like my actual skin tone. On camera it's not looking too bad, but starting to do the other side now. As you can see, this side has a little bit more to cover than the other half of my face. One reason that I do enjoy Tarte products is because they are vegan, they're cruelty-free, they're gluten-free, they have a lot of like natural ingredients in them that come from the earth, and I really admire that about this brand. And I love their Amazonian Clay full coverage foundation, the cream or the liquid, well it's like a thicker cream one. But I want to try out this powder because I do like powder only foundations for like the summer or when you're in a rush, you just want something really quick and fast and easy. But to me, this is not quick, fast, or easy. But I'm trying. You can see that using this bigger brush applied it over my face faster, but it didn't give me as much coverage as a small brush. So I'm going back to the Real Techniques brush. It's also kind of flying out of the thing. I don't know if y'all can see it flying out of the sifter. You can see I have these dark marks from blemishes right in between my eyebrows. Right here that I'm trying to cover up since this is supposed to be a full coverage powder. So far, I'm just not feeling this at all. I have used it to set my makeup before, and I like it for that, but on its own, I'm just not feeling it. But I wanted to give it another try on camera before I go and try another product. But I'm just going to end up having to put another powder over this because, yeah. I mean, it looks okay on camera from like a distance. You can still see my birthmark, which is right here. But it's just not giving me the full coverage that it's supposed to. Airbrush finish. I will give it that. It looks very airbrushed, but it's just not full coverage. So I'm still trying to build up the coverage a little bit more in places by really dabbing it on those areas so that I can move on to adding another powder on top. Because all I'm doing today is I'm going to go to Ulta. I'm in the market for another foundation. You'll see which one I decide to pick up, if I pick up any. if they even have a shade that fits me. And then I'm probably going to come back here and defrost some chicken, like take out some food to cook tomorrow and figure out what I'm going to wear for this week and do some laundry. And then I'm going over to a friend's house to meet his dog. Because his dog is so cute and just like happy, little peppy dog. And I really want to meet his dog, so I have to wait for him to get off work. So that's really my only plans for today. Oh, I also need to do some like schoolwork. I think I finally finished grading all the papers I need to grade. Y'all, grading papers is a trip. It's time consuming. KFC Famous Bowl. Definitely a favorite. Like I said, I'm just trying to add some more coverage in certain places. I'm not mad at the finish because it does give it a nice airbrush finish. And it doesn't look powdery at all. I just don't like really the color it's making my skin look. It looks fine on camera, but in person I look kind of dull and gray. And I don't like that it doesn't give a true full coverage. I think this makeup would be great for somebody who's a little bit younger, that has better skin than I do and doesn't have as much to cover up, because then it would actually kind of be full coverage for them. So I think I am done trying to build this up, and then I'm going to go in with a few other powders so I can move on with my look for today. And it's a little bit messy. Like I just got powder all over my sweatpants. Just gonna go with this other brush. And yeah, so that's it for this. As of right now, I don't recommend this for anybody that has, and it's not like it's empty. Or is it empty? Maybe that might be my problem. I didn't even use, I can't even tell if it's empty or not, like the packaging. I really can't tell how much product is left in here. I see a lot coming out of it though, the top, so I don't think it's empty. I didn't really use it that many times. Anyways, I give this 3.5 out of 5 stars, so I wouldn't recommend it for anybody who has a lot to cover up, but if you have better skin than I do, then I feel like this would be great for you. But if you have a lot of blemishes and acne scars like I do, then no, because it's going to take you a while to really build it up. I feel like I did build it up to medium coverage, but not full coverage. And like I said, the color on camera looks fine, but in person, when I look in the mirror, it looks kind of dull and gray toned. So, I don't know. I will not be repurchasing this, though. And I believe this was $40. Again, this is a Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Airbrush Foundation. This is the powder one. I like the cream one. This is the powder one. And I have the color Rich Sand. Yeah, not feeling it. Alright, so to kind of correct this, I'm going to add a combination of powders to kind of correct it. I'm going to mix together two kind of newer powders that I've recently been using. New-ish powders. One is the Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo Powder Foundation. This is in the shade Deep 72. And you can see that it's very, very warm, which helps like bring life back to my skin. So I'm using that the NYX multi-purpose large powder brush, and I packed it with the powder, packed on the powder. And I'm just gonna start applying this to my face to add more coverage. This powder foundation is a true full coverage. It's not a loose powder though, it's in compact form as you just saw. And I feel like to me that's much faster and easier to apply and to build up on the skin. And I'm just going to go over my entire face with this. And I'm pressing it into my skin. And this is another powder that you guys don't really see me use a lot of, but I use it in this way to kind of correct foundations that are too cool or too dull or too gray. I'll use this powder to kind of add some warmth and life back to my skin. It also provides nice coverage. So I'm just going to keep pressing this all over my face, especially in those places that need more coverage, like my cheeks. And then I'm going to do a nice buff all over. You can see I have a spot over here that just does not want to get covered up. Like I said, the left side of my face, this side, has more to cover up. And you see that how that just made it a little bit richer, not as dull, and added some additional coverage because you can no longer see the blemishes in between my eyebrows. Next, I'm going to go in with this NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat Powder Foundation, which is a newer powder foundation that I got in the shade Cocoa 19. That's the back. Here's the Kat Von D. I think I showed you guys the back. Deep 72. This stuff is great, but I don't like to use it alone. I like to use it to correct things. I'm going to use the same NYX brush. And you'll see this powder is basically my exact skin tone. So then I like to go in with this one on kind of the perimeters of my face just to make sure that everything flows nicely. And it adds a little bit of dimension because it is darker than the Kat Von D. So I just press and pat this around the perimeters of my face. And this NYX powder is also full coverage, so it's going to help add coverage. It's going to help make sure everything is matching my skin tone and with the rest of the skin on my body. And I feel like it just makes everything come together, and I love it for setting foundation, like liquid foundations and cream foundations too. And it's okay on its own as well. So I'm basically using it like a contour slash bronzer right now. And then I'm just using whatever is left over. I'm just buffing that onto my ears and my neck. So that is the foundation done. Using powders only. Powder Foundations Only. A mixture of those three together, I feel like looks really, really good with my skin. Ow, did you guys just hear my hip pop just now? That was no bueno. Alright, so I think I'm going to stop the video here and just call this a trying out new powder foundations video, because next I'm going to be trying out some other new things, but I don't want the videos to be super long. So I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of powder foundation demo and slight review on the three. I would highly recommend the NYX Stay Matte Not Flat for anybody that has oily skin. If you're looking for a powder only foundation, or if you're looking for a good mattifying powder that's a dupe for the Makeup Forever Duo Matte to set your foundation with, love this. Love, love, love. I've only had it for how long? And as you guys can see, I've hit pan because I showed you guys the NYX haul I did. This is also like the perfect color for my skin. This is 19 Cocoa. I would also recommend the Kat Von D, but the only thing with hers is that these powders run very warm and very red, so it might be a little bit harder to find your skin tone, but these work great as a powder foundation, and they work great to set your makeup as well. And both of these add really good coverage to the skin. Like I said, with the Tarte one, it doesn't work out well for me, but I think it will work better for someone who doesn't have as many blemishes and acne scars like I do. Hope you guys enjoyed this demo / review of those powders, and let me know what you think about this powder only foundation that I'm going to be rocking today. Again, thank you for your support. Thanks for watching. Bye, YouTube.